The story of Enron begins in the pipelines and gas fields of Texas. In 1985, Houston Natural Gas and Internord merged to form Enron. Kenneth Lay, with a vision to revolutionize the industry, was in charge. Lay saw an opportunity in the deregulation of the energy market. Enron became an energy trader, buying and selling natural gas. Initially, Enron focused on natural gas pipelines. It operated a vast network, transporting natural gas across the United States. Lay's ambition went beyond the simple transportation of gas. He believed that Enron could be a major player in the energy trading market. Enron's initial success was driven by its aggressive growth strategy. The company invested heavily in new pipelines and expanded its trading operations. It also began to diversify into new areas, such as electricity and international markets. By the early 1990s, Enron was one of the largest and most admired companies in the United States. Kenneth Lay's vision for Enron was bold. He wanted to transform the company from a traditional energy provider into a sophisticated trading powerhouse. To achieve this, he needed a team of brilliant and ambitious people who could navigate the complexities of the deregulated energy market. This is where Jeffrey Skilling comes in, a consultant from McKinsey & Company, who would become Lay's right-hand man and eventual successor as CEO. Skilling brought with him a revolutionary idea: mark-to-market accounting. This accounting method allowed Enron to record the potential future profits of its long-term energy contracts as current income. While it was legal on the surface, this practice gave Enron a significant advantage, a huge freedom in how it valued its assets and reported its earnings. With Skilling at the helm, Enron embarked on an aggressive expansion strategy, moving into new markets and diversifying its portfolio. The company began trading not only energy but also bandwidth, weather derivatives, and even advertising space. This rapid expansion, driven by the perceived success of its trading operations, propelled Enron to even greater heights. By the late 90s, Enron had become the darling of Wall Street. Its stock price soared, and the company was hailed as a model of innovation and success. Fortune magazine named Enron the most innovative company in America for 6 consecutive years. Enron's executives became celebrities, courted by politicians and celebrated by the media. The company's success attracted top talent from across the country. Enron's headquarters in Houston became a magnet for young graduates, ambitious from Ivy League universities and elite business programs. The company fostered a culture of fierce competition and risk-taking, rewarding those who delivered results no matter the cost. Enron's influence extended far beyond the business world. The company became a major political donor, contributing generously to both Democrats and Republicans. Kenneth Lay, in particular, cultivated close ties with the Bush family and Enron executives. They enjoyed access to the highest levels of government. Beneath the surface of Enron's dazzling success lay a dark secret. The company's financial statements were a mirage, a carefully constructed illusion to hide the true extent of its losses and debts. While Enron's stock price continued to rise, the company was losing money. Its complex business operations were generating massive losses that were hidden from investors and regulators. One of the key architects of Enron's fraudulent scheme was Anderson Fastow, the company's chief financial officer. Fastow created a complex network of off-balance sheet partnerships, known as special purpose entities, SPE, to hide Enron's growing debt and inflate its profits. As Enron's financial position deteriorated, the company resorted to increasingly desperate measures to maintain the illusion of profitability. It pressured its auditors, Arthur Andersen, to overlook the accounting irregularities. It intimidated analysts who questioned its accounting practices, and punished whistleblowers who dared to speak out about the company's irregularities. Section 5. Unraveling the Deception. The Fall of Enron. In August 2001, Sharon Watkins, vice president of Enron, sent an anonymous memo to Kenneth Lay about accounting irregularities. Lay dismissed the concerns, but the memo triggered an internal investigation. Investors lost confidence and Enron's stock price plummeted. On December 2, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy under Chapter 11. The collapse of Enron sent shockwaves through the business world. The collapse of Enron had a devastating impact on thousands of employees, investors, and communities. Many Enron employees lost their jobs and retirement savings, which were heavily invested in Enron stock. Investors, both large and small, saw their investments vanish overnight, and communities that had benefited from Enron's philanthropy were left reeling from the company's sudden disappearance. The human cost of Enron's collapse extended far beyond the immediate financial losses. Many former Enron employees struggled to find new jobs. Their reputations were tarnished by their association with the scandal. Families were torn apart by financial stress, and some former Enron employees even took their own lives out of desperation. The Enron scandal served as a stark reminder that behind faceless corporations and abstract financial statements, there are real people whose lives can be profoundly affected by corporate greed and misconduct. It highlighted the need for greater corporate accountability and the importance of ethical leadership at all levels of companies. The collapse of Enron triggered a wave of legal and regulatory actions. The Department of Justice convicted several top Enron executives, including Jeffrey Skilling and Andrew Fastow. Arthur Andersen was found guilty of obstruction of justice and ceased its operations. Congress passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 in response to the scandals. It imposed stricter regulations on corporate governance and accounting practices. It created the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act restored investor confidence. However, it was criticized for being burdensome and costly for smaller companies. The Enron scandal and Sarbanes-Oxley impacted global corporate governance. Although Enron collapsed in 2001, its legacy continues to haunt the business world. The company's name has become synonymous with corporate greed, accounting fraud, and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. The fall of Enron serves as a warning for business leaders, investors, and regulators alike. The Enron scandal highlighted the dangers of a corporate culture that prioritizes profits above all else. It showed how easily ethical boundaries can be crossed when the pursuit of wealth and power is unchecked. And it demonstrated the importance of strong corporate governance, ethical leadership, and a commitment to transparency and accountability. In the years since the collapse of Enron, there have been other high-profile corporate scandals, such as WorldCom, Tyco, and Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. While each of these scandals had its own unique circumstances, they all shared common threads with Enron: a culture of greed, lack of oversight, and the willingness to deceive investors and the public. The Enron scandal taught us that even the most successful and admired companies can be brought down by ethical failures and fraudulent behavior. It underscored the importance of a strong ethical compass, not only for individual employees, but for organizations as a whole. In the wake of Enron, business schools revised their curricula to place greater emphasis on ethics and corporate social responsibility. Companies strengthened their internal controls and compliance programs. And investors became more demanding, requiring greater transparency and accountability from the companies they invested in. The lessons from Enron remain relevant today as companies navigate an increasingly complex and interconnected world. In an era of globalization, technological disruption, and increased public scrutiny, it is more important than ever for companies to operate with integrity and a commitment to ethical conduct.